Alright, everybody. This is the record for the most funny, most just fascinating, just amazing arguments. This wasn't even really an argument, this was just a spew fest. And this is the best one. If y'all can beat this, I will subscribe to you if y'all can beat this. Alright. So it starts out with our protagonist, Regulus Noir. Amazing. Little bro, this is not the Slav. That's a chess opening, by the way, for black. Slav defense, d4, d5, c4, c6. There is nothing wrong with the opening so far. I'm not defending him. Yeah, we're just saying things that are wrong so confidently, just pointing out the wrong things. Well, if you had watched the video, which this guy admits later that he did not even watch the video, you will know that he was referencing the Slav, not that he actually played it. And as I say, he said defend the pawn with another pawn other than e6. The only option is c6, which is the Slav. He said play solidly, but there is a difference between solid and passive, and he doesn't know what it is, which is what I was explaining. I am just explaining that this guy is not teaching anything good, or it's just regurgitated stuff that everyone knows. And he says, that's not the Slav. Just because you played c6 in a d4 opening doesn't make it the Slav, and that's where you're wrong. Well, if you watched the video, I was saying that he was referring to a previous position. And I say if the opponent played d4, c4, and if he played d5, then c6, which is what he said he could have done, that's the Slav, sir. To quote, maybe back here I could have backed it up with a different pawn. At this point, knight c6 and knight f6 were already played. So if c6 was there and not e6, that is still just the Slav. Not to mention, if both e6 and c6 were there, it's now a semi-Slav. Which is exactly my point, and he is just convinced that I'm talking about something else. He didn't even watch the video. I understand what you mean by if he played c6. We are talking about the same position. No, we are not. No, we are not. No, we are not. If it's a d4, d5 game, and at some point c6 is played, it doesn't make it a Slav. A Slav is d4. Exactly. And this is what he said he could have done. What is your point? There are a couple of transpositions, yes, which was the knight c3, knight f6 transposition, is what another one he was talking about in the video. But this is not one of them. Yes, it is, by the way, because that's what he had said in the video. This is a pure Queen's Gambit exchange variation, no connection to a Slav. I'm about 650 points higher rated than you, so just accept that you're wrong. You and this Pegasus chess guy alike give very bad advice very confidently, possibly misleading weaker players. This is why I don't like people who are at least expert level, 2000 plus FIDE, making channels. Jack Sark, this guy cannot put spaces in his words to save his life, made a video on the guy, and in my opinion, Jack is around 1950 level 3-day strength. His video is much more bearable with the mistakes in his commentary he made. He didn't make any mistakes in his commentary. I can't think of a single thing he did that was wrong in his commentary. I doubt he watched his video as well. Anyways, well, there could have been more on his actual gameplay in Jack's video, which is what I tried to substitute in. I wanted to look at the actual games. And then his videos, but yeah, wouldn't mislead some player that bad. Wouldn't misled some player that bad. Not sure what the heck that even means at the end there, but whatever. His point is that I suck, is basically what he's saying. He's saying, I'm about 650 points higher than you, which, by the way, he is not. I went to his channel, and he has a video posted, and his chess.com is in that video. And once I clicked on his, when I tried to go to the thing, I got a chess.com error 404, which, interestingly, is the same error I got when I was trying to find one of Pegasus Chess' banned accounts. So this guy potentially was banned for cheating. It's not confirmed. Someone ought to look into that, though, because that's a little bit interesting. And it said, opponent played c4. So what is your point, sir? He said he could have backed it up after the c-pawn attack with c6, which would be the Slav. I'm not talking about what Pegasus... I'm talking about what Pegasus was talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Peg, I'm going to call him Peg now, was talking about that out before c takes d4 and before e6. You're talking about after, just to rage at a person with disabilities who isn't even wrong about if he played c6 instead of e6, which is what Peg was talking about on move 2. Keep in mind, I say this was on move 2. Later on, he says he doesn't know what move I was talking about. I said move 2. Let me just heart my own comment, because why not? Again, I added you to play, and keep this in mind too. He says I don't want to learn from him, but I mean he's 650 points higher than me. I wanted to play him, you know. I wanted to see what this guy was about, Mister 29, Mister 2967. I wanted to see what Mister 2967 was all about. I'm always open to challenging people to destroy them, but of course I couldn't find your account because of error 404. Me and Peg were talking about before e6 was even played. Yes, it's an exchange QGD, but that is not what either of us are referring to. You didn't find my account because it's not the same username as my YouTube. Exactly. I went to your video and it had your chess.com username in it, and I looked that up. Trust me when I say I did not look up Regigres Noir. And you are approximately 650 points low rated, which means you have an almost 0% statistical probability of you winning against me. So to clarify, you weren't talking about the position after that. Or were you? No, I was talking about the same thing Pegasus was talking about. c6 before c6, or c takes d4, and before e6 during that game. Also, I still want to play versus you. I think that would be fun. But this guy is so wimpy. He won't play. He's so much higher rated than me, but he's so scared of to play me. I just wanted to play for fun. I wasn't even like being like just straight up mean to the guy. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to play some chess. What's so wrong with that? I just wanted to play. And then he says, that was from a long time ago. I deleted that account. I also got much stronger since then. You deleted that account. That's a pretty odd thing to do, for you to just make another one. If you're so strong, why are you deleting your chess account? Interesting. Someone ought to look into that, though. That Arrow 404 was pretty suspicious. Yeah, same, but I don't play rated or care about my rating, which is true. I almost never play rated, and if I do, I mean, I don't really even. I don't. Not to say I don't try, but like I'm not like sitting there sweating with my water bottle and stuff like that. I'm just like semi-serious and rated. You seem to play Deity. Exactly. Not what I said. Also, you switched the topic. You didn't answer a question about what position you were referring to. Yes, I did. If you go back, I said move 2. I've said that many times. I said, I did answer. Me and Peg were referring to before c-pawn took d-pawn. I had to explain this in caveman terms so that maybe he would understand. Which is why I was making fun of him, telling people to play the Slav, as he could have backed, as he said he could have backed up d5 with c6 after the c4. I do play daily, but I never play rated daily. That sounded that sounds like I was playing daily chess. I really just play for fun. Still waiting on your challenge, though. Also, I love how I'm just farming comments for someone who's just talking about nothing. Like, just send your username so we can play together, lol. Let's have fun, not have cringe. Yeah, like, I'm just trying to play some chess, man. Like, and you're just sitting here, you just sat there just pissed off. Okay, whatever then. I didn't really watch the video and skipped around. That's why I didn't understand you. So why are you chatting to me? Why are you chatting to me? You didn't even watch the video. Yeah, this is why I don't believe you're higher rated than me. You call me little bro and don't have the attention span to watch a whole video and have the audacity to rage an autistic minor over something you don't even understand. Not raging, and I really don't care if you think I'm higher rated or not. Buddy, I think you should care. You have an account that gives an error 404 and you're not even trying to prove that you are who you say you are. I didn't understand it. You didn't explain yourself clearly. I feel like I did. I feel like he just didn't read what I was saying. I didn't watch your video because the content is of no value for me. No offense, not because I have a bad attention span. You have a bad attention span. You can't even read my message. Well, valuable enough to spend a whole day writing an essay making a fool of yourself. I just wanted to play some chess with you and other viewers, but you started attacking me for no reason. So yeah, anyways, my active account, give him a little hit with that one there, it's in my videos. Just add me already so we can play. I love playing people for fun. And then he says, no, I just like explaining my views. I wasn't attacking you. And then he switched threads. You see, this isn't it. You thought that was the end. No, it was not. He says, this was in my response to c6, which gave away an entire diagonal. You're lucky it almost doesn't lose? I mean, that's what I said. Do I even have to explain why this comment is incorrect? In summary, you nitpick too much, instead of saying things that actually matter. The analysis board part, however, should just be enough proof that he is a cheater. And I said, well, if you were a human, which Peg isn't, he was cheating, then you would be giving your opponent massive attacking chances. The engine says it's fine, but the point is he's not following his own advice, but he's rather following top engine moves. You are nitpicking autistic minor about not explaining his words clearly enough, and at this point, I feel bullied. You're being real, like, come on, man, I just want to play some chess with you, and you're just, like, doing this. What massive chances exactly? Black is just positionally slightly better due to the bishop pair. Not really. Black, it was slightly better, but it's not for that reason. It's just because they're castled, white is not, and white didn't play this accurately. I said, yes, his advice is to play solidly, but he plays moves giving up control of important diagonals because the engine said so. He also says don't move pawns, of which after bishop d3, the engine move is g6, pushing a pawn in front of your own king. That is the point, disproving his teaching style and what he is saying. And I said, the king's knight defender is gone, and white has the Greek gift diagonal, of which playing like this, teaching students, is going to make them lose. Remember, guys, you're not a 3700 ELO engine like Peg is. Bro, what are you saying? Black's king. Also, this comment should be over here. I don't know what happened here. I said, yes, when there's no knight. Even the engine wants the g6 to stop the bishop. Why are you harassing and hate commenting on a small channel? Like why? Like, what are you... Why? I just wanted to play some chess with you. I struggle explaining things with words, so why are you nitpicking me for not explaining things clear enough for people like you who need Daniel Naroditsky level essays about why you should develop your pieces rather than defend an already a defended center and give up a diagonal to attack your king? Stop yipping and yapping about danger even if there is none. It's like, the engine seems to think the bishop is dangerous with its top engine move of g6. Since when did people become unable to feel shame, even when hating an autistic minor on something that they aren't even wrong about? Not hating on you. Yes, you are, buddy. You're calling me a low-rated person. You're saying, I'm 650 points higher rated than you actually, so your opinion is meaningless. And your content is meaningless. Yes, you are hating, buddy. That is the definition of hating. The move g6 blunts the bishop, and if the bishop can be easily blunted, then it's not dangerous in the slightest. It's that simple. If there was no danger, then why does the engine need to blunt it in the first place? Remember, guys, engines don't do something unless they have to, so it must have been dangerous. Almost like it was dangerous in the first place. I meant to say place. So I said play. That's sad. and still is. You could just launch an Alpha Zero style attack with the H pawn on that hook on G6 you were forced to play because you didn't develop your pieces. And then he hit me with an essay on why a bad attack doesn't work. And when I say Alpha Zero style attack, like Alpha Zero just hands pawns. It doesn't matter. That's kind of the idea. If it can be easily blunted, then it's not dangerous. G6, H4, bishop takes H4. Even if you couldn't take it, it would still be a bad move. Buddy, you don't know who Alpha Zero is. They just sack pawns for seemingly nothing. Which would be stopped with H5. Elsewhere style would mean getting the pawn on H6. First of all, that's not happening. I mean, it could, but, whatever. Secondly, that wouldn't give white anything. Black is a dark squared bishop, and white doesn't. After black castles, first of all, white would not castle. This is not a position where white would want to castle. Black can play bishop g5, and h6 is falling. Also, let's say you play h4, and I don't stop h5. Just king g7. So you're allowing h6 with a check now? Is that what you're doing? Buddy, what? So if I play h4 and he doesn't stop it and he plays king g7, you're allowing h5 with a potential check. And then you develop normally? Really? Because I'm apparently taking your hook pawn. What are you saying? At some point I will play queen e7 and rook h8. That's the worst case scenario. Also, white has nothing here. Yeah, well, by this time, white would probably maybe even be long castled. Maybe they'd be already attacking you. But, like, I get what his point is here, but he's not writing it correctly. And I said, yes, white hasn't castled here. There's just a rook here. And you can find some of my games where I've beaten people who was 2200 plus people, 2200 elo plus people doing that exact thing, but accurately, considering you're only looking at bad attacks. Why are you even still talking to me if you're not going to play me? We clearly have different ways of playing chess, and you seem to focus on single plans while I attack all three sides of the board at every game. Let's just accept our differences, and that you're not higher rated, because let's be honest, this guy's not higher rated. If he was higher rated, he'd be proving it. He'd also be maybe playing me because he's so interested in teaching, so feel like he would be playing me. I like playing higher rated people, but you seem to be against playing me. Now, he deleted his next comment, but I still have it. But I still have it. I just took a screenshot. His next comment in between here and here was, we are discussing the position at hand. You are talking about different games. I will stop replying now, since you clearly don't want to learn from a much stronger player, which is why I'm stronger in the first place. Because I always learn when someone is teaching and you don't. Goodbye, squirt. Always pulling the victim card. Grow up. You're most likely older than me. So what? You're a minor. Lock in, effing Agent Milktooth. Effing Agent Milktooth. By the way, I'm going to send this to myself just to show you that this comment was real. I'm going to send this to myself. Great. I have sent this to myself. Here we go. We are discovering the position. I'm going to make this maybe bigger. We are discussing the position at hand. You are talking about different games. I will stop replying now, since you clearly don't want to learn from a much stronger player, which is why I'm strong in the first place, because I always learn when someone is teaching and you don't. Goodbye, squirt. Always pulling the victim card. Grow up. You're most likely older than me. And then he calls me lock in effing Agent Milktooth. So yeah, he deleted that comment. Guys, he deleted that. I didn't delete that. He deleted that. That is so wild. And so, yeah, obviously that comment, he deleted it. So, I mean, this was a pretty wild ride. I mean, Agent Milktooth, that's crazy. Anyways, yeah, you thought you could delete a comment on me, Mr. Regulus Noir. You actually thought. Anyways, that's it. This guy wimped out, didn't play me, even though it wasn't even like for contests. Wimped out and then said I didn't want to learn. See ya.